making English easy for everyone.
Speak English with Jay and May.
Hey, English learners. Welcome back to Speak English with Jay and May, your cozy little place to build your English confidence. I'm May.
Hello, May, and hello, everyone. I'm Jay. How are you today, May?
Oh, I am so good today, Jay. Like, genuinely really good. I woke up this morning, the sun was shining, my coffee was perfect, and I just felt amazing.
That sounds wonderful. What happened? Did something special happen?
You know what? Nothing huge happened, but that's exactly what today's topic is about. Today, we're talking about idioms, special phrases that describe feelings, happy feelings, sad feelings, all of it.
Oh, idioms about emotions. I love this, because sometimes just saying I'm happy feels a little flat, right?
Exactly. Like, I'm happy is fine, but English speakers have these amazing, colorful phrases that say so much more. And today, we have 12 of them for you.
12. Okay, listeners, you are going to walk away from this episode sounding so much more natural in English. I'm excited.
Me too. But before we dive in, real quick, if this podcast is helping your English, please subscribe. Hit the like button, share it with a friend, and turn on notifications. We drop new episodes every single day, so you don't want to miss one.
Every day, people. That's a new episode every morning with your coffee. Okay, May, let's go. What's the first idiom?
Okay, the first one is beautiful. Are you ready? On cloud nine.
On cloud nine. That sounds dreamy, like you're floating?
Yes, exactly that feeling. When you are on cloud nine, you are extremely happy, like floating above the world happy. Imagine you just got your dream job. You walk out of the building and you feel like your feet aren't even touching the ground.
Oh, wow, that's a strong kind of happy. Not just I'm okay happy, like seriously overjoyed.
Right, you could say, when I got my acceptance letter to university, I was on cloud nine for a whole week. That level of joy.
I love that. Okay, what's number 2?
Number 2 is to make your day. Now, this one is a little different. It's about something small that just turns everything around.
You mean like a little moment that makes the whole day feel good?
Exactly. Like someone gives you a genuine compliment and suddenly your whole mood changes. You say, that really made my day. It doesn't have to be something huge. Even a stranger smiling at you can make your day.
Oh, I love that. Because sometimes the small things hit harder than the big things, right?
Always. A kind word, a funny text from a friend, these things make your day. Simple, but powerful. And here's something I want you to think about, listeners. When was the last time you made someone else's day? Because it works both ways.
Oh, that's a really good point. You can receive it and you can give it. Okay, what's number 3?
Number 3. This one is great for when something goes wrong, not the end of the world.
Wait, that's an idiom? I've heard people say that before.
Yes, and it means exactly what it sounds like. When something bad happens, but it's not a disaster, we say, it's not the end of the world. Like you spill coffee on your shirt before work. It's annoying, right? But it's not the end of the world.
So it's kind of like don't overreact. Things will be okay.
Exactly. It's comforting. You use it to calm someone down or to calm yourself down. I failed the test, but it's not the end of the world. I can try again.
I really need to use that one more. Okay, number 4?
Number 4 is a sad one, feeling blue. Or you can also say to have the blues.
Feeling blue. So blue means sad?
In English, yes, the color blue is often connected to sadness. So when you're feeling low, a little down, a little sad without a big reason, you say, I'm feeling blue today.
So it's not like crying my eyes out sad. It's more like quiet sadness.
Yes, that's a perfect way to describe it. Like a gray, cloudy kind of feeling inside. You might say, I don't know why, but I've had the blues all week. It just means you've been feeling a bit down.
That's actually very relatable. Sometimes you just wake up and the mood is already low and you don't even know why.
Exactly. And that's completely normal. Even native English speakers feel blue sometimes. The important thing is knowing it won't last forever.
That's comforting, actually. Okay, what's number 5?
Okay, this one is my favorite. This one is face like a wet weekend.
Face like a what?
A wet weekend. So imagine this. You planned something fun for the weekend, a picnic, a trip, a party, and then it rains. The whole weekend, everything is canceled. How does that feel?
Terrible. Disappointing. Kind of gloomy.
Exactly. So when someone has a face like a wet weekend, they look unhappy, gloomy, miserable. Their expression on their face shows they are not pleased at all.
Oh, so you'd use it like, why does he have a face like a wet weekend? What happened?
Perfect. You've got it. It's a little funny and a little harsh, so use it carefully. But it's so vivid, right?
It really is. I can literally picture it. Okay, number 6.
Number 6, to get a real kick out of something.
A kick? Like a karate kick?
No, no, no. When you get a kick out of something, you find it really fun, exciting, or entertaining, like you enjoy it a lot. I get a real kick out of watching funny animal videos. It just brings you joy.
Oh, so it's like a burst of fun, something that gives you that excited, happy energy?
Yes, exactly that. She gets a real kick out of cooking new recipes. It means it really entertains her or makes her feel good. It's enthusiastic enjoyment.
I get a real kick out of learning English idioms.
There you go. Perfect example. And you know what? That's actually the best way to remember an idiom. Use it in a sentence about your own life. It sticks so much better.
Oh, that's a great tip. Okay, wait, here's the interesting part, right? The next few idioms are all about being extremely happy, but they each have a slightly different flavor.
Exactly. So many ways to say very happy in English, and each one paints a different picture. Number 7, on top of the world.
On top of the world. That sounds powerful.
It is. When you feel on top of the world, you feel like nothing can stop you. It's confident happiness, like you achieved something and you feel unstoppable.
Like when a sports team wins the championship.
Exactly. After winning the competition, she felt on top of the world. It's happiness mixed with pride and strength.
I love that. Okay, number 8.
In seventh heaven. Now, this one has a beautiful origin. In many cultures and religions, heaven is the highest, most perfect place. And the seventh heaven, that's the best of the best.
So being in 7th heaven means you're in the most perfect, happy place?
Yes, pure bliss, pure joy. Nothing is wrong, everything is perfect. After the wedding, they were in seventh heaven. It's that deep, peaceful, perfect happiness.
That's so beautiful. It's different from on cloud 9. How?
Great question. On cloud 9 is more like a sudden rush of happiness. In seventh heaven is more like a calm, deep, complete happiness, like a warm glow versus fireworks.
Oh, I like that. Warm glow versus fireworks. That makes total sense.
Right? Okay, number 9, over the moon.
Over the moon. I think I've heard this one before.
It's very popular. When you're over the moon, you are thrilled and delighted. It often comes with good news. She was over the moon when she found out she was pregnant. That explosion of joy.
So it's like jumping for joy. You're so happy you could fly over the moon.
Exactly that visual. It's joyful, excited, celebratory happiness. You can't contain it.
And it's different from on cloud nine. How?
Um, Over the moon is usually tied to a specific piece of good news. On cloud nine can last longer. It's more of a floating, ongoing feeling. But honestly, they're very close. You can use them almost the same way.
Got it. Okay, this is where things change. Now we're on to the really fun ones, right?
Yes, number 10, having a whale of a time.
A whale? Like the ocean animal?
Yes, a whale is the biggest animal in the ocean, so a whale of a time means an enormously good time, the biggest, best time.
So like a really, really fun time?
The best! We had a whale of a time at the beach party last night. It means everyone was having so much fun, laughing, dancing, enjoying every second.
I love it. It's so big. Like the feeling is huge, just like a whale.
Exactly. It's enthusiastic, loud, party energy happiness, not quiet, very alive. And you know what's funny? Whales are actually known for being very playful animals, so it totally fits.
Oh, wow. I never thought about that. That makes the idiom even more fun. Okay, number 11.
Now it's let your hair down. Now imagine this. You work in a very strict professional office. You wear formal clothes, you sit up straight, you are very proper all day long.
Sounds exhausting, honestly.
Right? But then Friday comes. Work is over. You go out with friends, you relax completely. You stop being so proper and serious. That's letting your hair down.
Oh, so it means to relax and enjoy yourself freely without worrying about rules or image?
Exactly. It's about dropping the stress, dropping the formality, and just being free. After a tough week, I like to let my hair down and just watch movies all day.
I do that too. I didn't know there was an idiom for it.
Now you do. And I think a lot of our listeners can relate. We all need to let our hair down sometimes. Life is too short to always be in serious mode.
That is so true. Okay, May, we have one more, number 12, and this one is your bonus from your own brain, right?
Yes, so I wanted to add one that I think is really beautiful and underused, to walk on sunshine.
Walk on sunshine. Like the song?
Yes, actually. There's that famous song, I'm Walking on Sunshine, and the idiom means the same thing. You feel so happy that everything around you feels bright, warm, and light, like you're literally walking on rays of sun.
That's so poetic. When would you use it?
You'd say something like, ever since she got that good news, she's been walking on sunshine. It means her whole energy changed. She radiates happiness. Everything about her is bright and warm.
And you can almost feel it when someone is like that, right? Their smile, their energy, it just lifts the whole room.
Yes, happiness is contagious like that. When someone is walking on sunshine, everyone around them feels it too.
I love that so much. Okay, so let's do a quick recap before we close. We have 12 idioms today. Can we run through them fast?
Yes. Ready? On cloud nine, extremely happy, floating feeling. To make your day, a small thing that turns your whole day around. Not the end of the world. It's bad, but it's okay. We'll survive.
Feeling blue, quiet sadness, feeling low, face like a wet weekend, looking unhappy and gloomy. Get a real kick out of something, finding something really fun and exciting.
On top of the world, confident, proud, unstoppable happiness. In seventh heaven, calm, deep, perfect bliss. Over the moon, thrilled about good news.
Having a whale of a time, having the biggest, best fun. Let your hair down, relax and enjoy yourself freely, and walk on sunshine, radiating happiness. Everything feels bright and warm.
You both nailed it! Listeners, if you made it this far, you now have 12 powerful idioms in your English toolkit. That is seriously impressive.
And the best part is, these all come up in real conversations, movies, songs, at work, with friends. You're going to start hearing them everywhere now.
That's the magic moment, you know? When you learn something and then suddenly you notice it everywhere. Like, oh, I know that one. That moment is called a breakthrough, and it's one of the best feelings in language learning.
It really is the best feeling, kind of like being on cloud 9.
See, you're already using them naturally. That's real growth, Jay.
Okay, before we go, our question for the listeners today.
Yes, we want to know which of these 12 idioms matches how you are feeling right now. Are you on cloud 9, feeling blue, having a whale of a time? Drop it in the comments, even just one word or one sentence. We read every single comment and we love hearing from you.
It's also great writing practice, so there's really no reason not to.
And don't forget, subscribe, like, share this episode with someone who's learning English, and turn on that notification bell. We are here every single day with a brand new episode just for you.
Every single day. So we'll see you or hear you tomorrow. Same place, same energy, same good vibes.
Take care of yourselves, keep practicing, and remember, learning English is not the end of the world. It's actually the beginning of something amazing.
Perfectly said, May. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye, English learners. See you tomorrow.